For most people, as we go through our day, our breathing rhythm looks like this. We have a short breath in and pause. Short breath out and pause. In, pause, out, pause. The pause is where we think. Have you ever noticed when you're doing something complicated and you stop breathing until you finish your thought? It's actually quite hard to be in the mental body and the physical body or the emotional body at the same time. They are 2, 3 different bodies. So with our breath, we lock conscious awareness, which is what we are. We are conscious awareness. We lock it into the mind. We lock it into our temples and we create tension in our jaw, controlling our body with our mind. And this short, shallow breath, we are able to spend our whole life trapped in our mind thinking. By learning to breathe in a different way and by taking the pause out of the breath, we can unlock conscious awareness from the mind and start to move it around our body, into our glands, into our emotional body, or into our little toe, even outside of our body. Our stomach and our heart have more nerve receptors than our mind, and these nerve receptors pick up etheric, emotional information. Empathy and often our intuition starts in our stomach and the womb if you're a woman. It's why we say, I had a gut feeling about that. Our mind also creates emotions that are different to etheric, emotional information. So when we have a memory, we create electrical impulses in our mind that send signals to our glands. Pituitary glands, thyroid gland, adrenal glands, and all the other elements of the endocrine system, as well as the liver, which creates chemicals. These chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, cortisol, and adrenaline, to name a few, create a feedback loop to the mind of emotional information. So then the mind says, I create emotions through past experience. So we disconnect from a state of interconnectedness and understand ourselves as a separate being created from our past experiences. We stop listening to our bodies and the emotional intelligence of others, and we hand full control over to our individual mind. But as everything is energy, vibrational energy, the more we de-armor and listen to our bodies, the more empathy and intuition we develop, the more connected we become to the world around us. During sessions, we are going to apply this circular connective breathing, which basically just means taking the pause out of our breath. So let's practice now for a few breaths. There are more steps to learn before we integrate this deep connective circular breathing into our daily lives, so don't turn it into muscle memory just yet. So all you need to do is to synchronize your hand with your breath. So as we breathe in, the hand goes up, and as we breathe out, the hand starts to go all the way down. By synchronizing our hand with our breath, we're just training the body to take this pause out. Now your breath might be very long, 10, 12 seconds in, 10, 12 seconds out. This is great, this is what we're aiming for. Or for now, it might be very short. It might only be 4 or 5 seconds. What's important is that it's your breath and that it's relaxed, that it's not really strained. So I'm just going to do an 8-second breath because that should work for most people. So as I breathe in, as soon as I get to the top of my breath, without tension, I breathe out. As soon as that hand gets to the bottom, I breathe back in. So just synchronize your breath with your hands. Let's take 8, 9, 10 breaths together. Couple more, breathing in, taking the pause out, don't stop for a second. Coming into the last breath, and breathing all the way out, relaxing the whole body. And I just want you to see if you noticed how much you could think. And such a simple exercise. As we move on through the course, it gets a bit more complicated, but we're really going to build on taking the pause out. And when we learn little stages and we put it all together, we get the complete breath. So please do practice.